Nobody trying to hear that bullshit.
What's good, guys? It's your boy Evru. I'm gonna be going subtle today, man. State got stuck at work and stuff, so we're gonna probably try it again. If not tomorrow, probably Wednesday. But it is what it is, man. So I still want to talk, man. So we're gonna talk about centers and stuff. He brought up Aiden. He wants to talk about Aiden. He wanted to talk about Mitch and probably Mo Bamba. But I want to extend it a little bit further and just talk about basketball in general, just the legacy of the center for the Knicks, and then just why it's so important. Not necessarily for the today's NBA because everybody shoots threes. You can look at this year's playoffs and stuff. How there's no 7-footer. Me and Jarrell was talking about that on the prior podcast. But there's no centers in the NBA now. There's no big back-to-back centers. The only person that I can think of right now for as far as young players is Dandre Ayton. You got guys in the draft coming in right now. We'll talk about those guys in a second. But who's out there that's really that good, man? So let's start off with Mitch Robinson. So while I'm talking about Mitch Robinson, I'm gonna put it and see if I can get his stats up here. So Mitch Robinson, for everyone that loves him so much, is really what they think he can do, like eventually, not necessarily what he's doing right now for the Knicks. So I know he's a defender that can get out on the perimeter and defend. Okay, but do you want your center to play to defend the perimeter? Is that why you got the center? The reason why you have a center is to defend the paint, to rebound and then defend the paint, to do stuff the little guys aren't supposed to do. To protect the little guys, to protect the other power forward, to protect the small forward up front. If the guards get broken down, the center's supposed to pick up the pieces. So let's get this shared up here from Basketball Reference. Basketball Reference is everybody's friend, and I don't understand why they don't make people pay for it. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to dry snitch on all the content creators out there, man, because I know we all use Basketball Reference for our numbers and stuff. But anyway, just check out the stats, man. First of all, before we do that, just look at the minutes per game. 20 minutes per game first year, 23, 27, 25. So a lot of people saying they like the progression of Mitch Robinson. Let's check out the progression, right? The field goal percentage, 69%, 74, 65, 76. There's no real progression. It just shows you that he's a guy that just scores around the basket, basically. Look at the shot attempts. 4, 5, 5, 4. Is it because they don't give him the ball enough? If they gave him the ball more than 5 things, then he wouldn't be shooting this high. He wouldn't be shooting 69, 74, 65, and 60 and 76. He wouldn't be shooting that high if he was getting more touches. Uh, you're talking about pick and rolls and things of that nature. So how many more pick and rolls could this guy get? So you're talking about maybe double the pick and rolls. Is that really like a good thing there? Double the pick and rolls. So now you're talking about Mitch giving you 14, 18, what is it, 16 points per game. Can that happen? A lot of people are going to talk about point guard. He never had a point guard. Listen, he's had decent point guards, man. You have to be able to play basketball. You can't blame somebody else, man. That's one thing that I always harp on this podcast. I mean, you cannot look at the next man and wondering why he's not doing something for you to make you look better. You know what I'm saying? When are you going to make yourself look better? When are you going to do your thing? So let's do that. I'm going to look at 2018, 2019. Let's check out who Mitch Robinson's point guard was when he first started. So let's just do the minutes per game. As you saw, Mitchell Robinson was only getting 20 minutes per game, so he's down here somewhere. Mitch Robinson was number 15 in minutes that year. Who was the starting center there? I'm just trying to figure that out. Damian Dotson, Matthews, DeAndre Jordan played 25 minutes per game. So he basically split minutes. You got Enes Kanter also played minutes there, 25 as well. DeAndre Jordan only played 19 games. Enes Kanter played 44. Mitch Robinson played 66. So Mitch Robinson played a lot of the games that year. Only played 20 minutes per game. who was the point guard? That's the big question, right? So we got Dennis Smith Jr. He played 28 minutes per game. So Dennis Smith Jr. is out the league basically, right? But let's look at his stats that year. For he did have a falling out, a down year with the Knicks, but he did average 14, 5, 2 rebounds, 1.3 steals in that first year with the Knicks. So that's decent stats, man. 41% from the field, that's not too good. 28% from three, not too good either. Free throw percentage 56%. But I mean, look, 14 points, five rebounds, excuse me, five assists. That assist, right? That's what gets the center involved, not the field goal percentage. The field goal percentage might help him with rebounding because he's going to be up on the offensive rebounds, right? So if your point guard is missing shots, it gives you opportunity to get offensive rebounds. So there's opportunity for a guy like Mitch Robinson to succeed, right? Let's look at some of the other guys. You got Manuel Mudiay was on the team. He's for whatever you want to say about him, he's still a decent point guard, even though he's not in the NBA right now. He averaged 14 points. Let's get rid of that. 14.8 points that year. 3.9 assists, 3.3 rebounds. 44% from the field, 32% from three. Not the best, but that's 2 point guards that average double figures there. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep going and let's see what else has got. We got Kadeem Allen was also decent for us. Kadeem Allen's probably not even playing basketball anywhere right now. So let's look what he did. 10 points per game, 4 assists. So I mean, all these guys got the opportunity to play at different parts of the year. So you're not talking about point guards that are slouches. Let's take another look at another decent point guard. Frank Ntilikina at the time he was being pushed to be the point guard. And he doesn't want to shoot it, so he's definitely passing. So that's another point guard that's looking for somebody to pass to. Trey Burke. Trey Burke was trying to get his career back together. He also was on the team. Let's highlight him. 11 points per game, 2 assists, 1.9. So I mean, there's yet another point guard that's looking to pass to Mitch Robinson. So did Mitch Robinson have an all-star point guard? No, but he did have a series of point guards that weren't that bad that year. 14 points per game, like I said, from Dennis Smith Jr., 5 assists. Moody I had 14 points with basically 4 assists. Frank Ntilikina also played. Trey Burke also played. Kadeem Allen is also somebody that's decent. No all-star available there, but still, nonetheless, plenty of adequate point guards to pass to Mitch Robinson. Let's check out his second year. Do the same thing. I'm just going to scroll down to the thing there. Put the minutes per game. At this time, I think Mitch Robinson he averaged 23 minutes per game. You can see it there. Who was his point guard? Elfrid Payton, 27 minutes per game. Let's check out his stats for the first year. The first year, Elfrid Payton actually averaged 10 and 7. 10, 7, 1.6 steals per game. We know that he can't shoot threes, right? Field goal percentage 43%. That's okay for a point guard, not the best free throw shooter. But free throw shooting has nothing to do with the center. Like I said, him not being that good from the field leaves offensive rebounds for Mitch Robinson. So that's good for Mitch Robinson. 7 assists per game. Elfrid Payton averaged 7.2 assists and 10 points per game. That's what he's been doing his whole career. So Elfrid Payton is a good point guard. So decent point guard, Elfrid Payton that first year. Like I said, the stats say it: 10 points and 7 assists with 1.6 steals. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? And then this wasn't Tom Thibodeau. This was a different coach. This was everyone's favorite coach here, Mr. I can't even remember his name, David Fizdale. Then went on to Mike Miller as well. So I mean, these are guys that have a more of an open offense compared to what Tom Thibodeau is doing out there. Still a decent point guard. Like I said, 7.2 assists. You can't deny that. So that's a decent point guard for a center. So he did have a decent thing. What did he have? 9, 7. How many blocks? 2 blocks. 0.9 steals. 23 points per game. He played with Frank Ntilikina still. Who else we got here? Dennis Smith Jr. didn't really play long. Kadeem Allen. There you go. And then we can go to the next season. The next season, of course, is Tom Thibodeau's first season. So let's check that out. Look at the next season. Minutes per game, do the same thing. Who was the point guard? You got Derrick Rose as the number one, 26 points. Minutes per game. Let's check out his stats. Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose averaged 14 points, 4 assists per game. That's Derrick Rose. So you want to talk about having a point guard? Mitch Robinson never had a point guard. Derrick Rose. Alec Burks is what's the name? Tom Thibodeau's favorite point guard. 12 points, 2.2 assists. He's still a decent guard. Alec Burks is not a slouch, man. Alfred Payton's still on the roster. 10 points. This time 3.2 assists per game. That's because of Tom Thibodeau's offense or lack thereof offense. Julius Randle averaged 6 assists per game. RJ averaged 3. So you have passers out there. Austin Rivers is a decent on-ball player. Emmanuel Quickly's there. So you Frank Ntilikina, Dennis Smith Jr. was there earlier on. Jared Harper, a couple of guys here that also played. So Mitch Robinson had decent ball handlers, giving him, available to give him the ball. You know, uh, Julius Randle averaged 6 assists last year, whatever. So I mean, your power forward is a good passer. Your the second tier guy, 3 assists per game, he's a good passer. Dirk Rose, Alec Burke, you got decent passes there. Alfred Payton, started for them all year. Decent point guard, man. Not the best, not the world greatest point guard. CP3 can't be the only point guard that you reference. You can't reference Hall of Fame point guards. There's other people in this league. You know what I'm saying? That's comparable to the guys that we had on this roster. So these are adequate NBA point guards for Mitch Robinson. So still Mitch Robinson was only able to average 8 and 8, still 1.5. If you want to talk about his minutes, 27 minutes per game. As a starting center that can't create his own shot and nothing like that, 27 points, minutes per game is decent. You're not going to give a guy that can't create his own shot or they can't shoot at all, from the perimeter, can't make his free throws for 49% from the free throw line. You're not going to give him 40 minutes per game, you know. Let's do that then. For a season like that, he was hurt a lot. Let's look at this at his 36 per minute per minute stats. Mitchell Robinson is right here. Let's scroll this up a little bit so I can get to the points. He averaged 10, 10, 1.5. So you're talking about if you upped his minutes to 36 minutes per game, you're only talking about a guy that would average 10, 10, 1.5 steals and 1.9 blocks. It's not really that great of a center. You could find that production in other places in the NBA, it's pretty much a dime a dozen. You give an adequate center 36 minutes per game, they're probably going to give you around 10, 10 with decent blocks and stuff like that. So I mean, it is what it is. You got to call Mitch Robinson for what he is. So now, how much is that worth? It really depends on what you're looking at. So without going even to the next thing here, we can stay here. 36 minutes per game. He averages on 10 rebounds per game, right? 5.6 can be 5.9 defensive rebounds and 4.8 offensive rebounds. Offensive rebounds is great, but if you're playing defense, in order to secure the defensive play, you have to get the defensive rebound. So I mean, your center is the one that's tasked to get that defensive rebound. Obi Toppin, if you look right underneath him, averaged the same amount of offensive rebounds, and look at the minutes per game. What is this per 30? This is per 36. So let's go back to what the minutes the guys played. Um, Let me see here. Here's the offensive rebounds here on the end here. Let me highlight Mitchell Robinson. Well, that's the total. Let me get the average. So these guys, there goes Mitchell Robinson there. So I mean, he averaged 4.4 in the 27 minutes he got, and 3 offensive rebounds. 4.4 defensive rebounds is not good, man. Julius Randle, in comparison, got 9. So your center, the defensive stopper for the center, he needs to get you close to 10 defensive rebounds. I don't care how many minutes he's getting. If he's getting 27 minutes, he should still be getting you close to 10 defensive rebounds, man. So I mean, if you're talking about a guy that's a niche player like that's his only job, you're not asking him to do nothing else, and he can't do that to the best of his ability, then something's wrong there. And to me, it's not somebody that you want to give a whole lot of money to. So let me scroll this up a little bit, and let me just say, see who's hanging out with me here. Hope you guys can hear me. See who's hanging out with me here. We got Ralph is still here. Stop video, Astral off the chain. Let's talk about that. Stop video is when I'm going to do another draft podcast. I kind of want to get stayed on here, so I mean probably Wednesday. If not Wednesday, definitely sometime during this week. We were gonna do it Friday, man. I was thinking about you, but I just wasn't feeling good that Friday, man, to get on to do the stuff. So shout out to you. We're keeping you in mind. So whenever we decide to do another big draft special, we'll definitely keep you in mind there. Shout out to Ralph. Ralph is hanging out with me again. Peace, my man. Uh we're gonna get into that Mo Bamba and Ashton and stuff like that. While we're doing that, let's just share the screen here. We're gonna take a look at some stats, some video from Mitchell Robinson. So I mean, of course, the first video that they're going to show, the first play they're going to show is the play where where he made his only drive of his career. Look at this: stutter dribble over, drives the lane, little euro step. I mean, come on, man. You have 4 years in the NBA to show that. Let's show it, man. Good defender. Mitch Robinson is an adequate defender. Is he above average? Yes, probably. So just take a look at it, man. Those dunks and stuff like that, it's not really skill. He's just 7 feet tall with athleticism. There's a lot of guys like that can make a dunk. So him standing there not doing anything, catching and receiving a dunk, eh, how many players can do that? To jump ahead of the ball game here, we got Ralph Diaz talking about Mo Bamba and DeAndre Ayton. They can do the same thing. Shout out to State. I was trying to make the point with State that if we put DeAndre Ayton in the same spots that Mitch Robinson is in, he's still going to get the same dunk that Mitch is going to get. But the thing is, if the defense stops him, he'll be able to counter, do something else. These alley-oops, you mean to tell me that DeAndre can't do that? You mean to tell me that anybody can't do that? That there's a center in the NBA that's standing there wide open? It's not like he did anything to get open. They go Mitch blocking threes. Okay. His job is not to block threes. His job is to defend the paint on the inside. It's nice to see him out there, but we really need to see him on the inside. So we'll continue to talk about that. There's not really much else to look at because I mean, watch this next play. So Mitchell Robinson, he's setting a screen there. Didn't even touch the guy. He just walking down on the inside. Rose did it the best that he could to try to get that ball to Robinson, but he's just standing there. It's not like he's pushing guys out and trying to create space. Good block there. Nice recovery. That's what he's supposed to do. He should do it more often for somebody with his athleticism. There he goes inside being pushed around by Mo Bamba. Standing there just by himself. Mo Bamba left to block somebody, and then he's there by himself. Just standing there. Standing there is not a skill. Standing in one place is not a skill. There he goes setting a screen. They didn't even touch the guy again. There he goes against DeAndre Ayton. DeAndre Ayton, was a little bit overzealous, out of position to get the rebound. And Mitch Robinson was standing there untouched and just got the rebound. What's the big deal there? Here goes Mitch Robinson on the inside, just jumps over the top. Referees don't call over the top no more. He just jumps over the top and gets the rebound. They didn't box out or anything. He goes Mitch Robinson running on the inside, looking for the lob. He's out to play. Just standing by himself. Standing by yourself, that is not a skill. Standing by yourself is not a wow. Did you see him standing by himself to get that rebound, to get that alley-oop? There he goes again, not paying attention, standing there by himself, gets another block. So anyway, that's what I'm trying to say there with this guy, man. I'm just not a Mitch Robinson fan, man. If we want to win, everyone keeps talking about shooting threes and stuff like that. Shout out to State. The State is a big advocate of playing moderns, small ball and that type of thing. I'm with it too, man. I'm with trying to do that, but we have to really jump through hoops in order to really do that. To find that guy, that person that shoots three, that's 7 feet tall. I think we traded him away. His name is Kristaps Porzingis. Outside of that, who else is out there that's 7 feet tall to shooting threes like that? That we're available to get. You want to talk about the what's the name? The Lopez brothers, not Robin Lopez, the other Lopez. You want to talk about the Lopez guy? That's about it. Let's look at DeAndre Ayton, man. So I'm gonna just look at his stats. I know we talked about it before. So this is DeAndre Ayton. I always say Ayton because we're from New York, so we can't really say Ayton like that. So we kind of leave the T out of there. But let me show you his stats on Basketball Reference. So we're looking at it all together. So it's not something that we're missing really. So here we go here. Take a look at his stats the last couple years. Let me scroll this over. 16, 18, 14, and 17. Rebounds 10, 10. It's going to be 10, 11, 10, 10. Defensive 7 rebounds. Seven defensive rebounds. That's good. Offensive rebounds 3 basically every year. 3 offensive rebounds. That's good too. So he's a good rebound. Nice balance with the offensive and defensive rebounds. So that's what I'm looking for at a center. This to me is an elite mix there. Assists is about right because he's going to be a receiver. He's not a guy that's being looked to create offense. He's a guy that's being looked to finish. Steals is not necessarily that all that good. About a half a steal, a little bit more than a half. And the blocks is a little bit kind of mediocre. 0.7, that's mediocre. 1.2, 1.5. So there's potential for him to do a little bit more defensively there. Minutes per game is going to play a part in that 30, 32, 30, and 29. For a player of his caliber, you would think that he would play a little bit more minutes, because I mean, getting those minutes up would definitely make him a 20-point a game scorer. So let's check out the 36 point, the 36 per minute stat. As you can see there, 19, 20, 17, 21. That's about right. Get him up to 36 minutes, and playing under Tibbs is definitely going to be there. You're talking about 8 defensive rebounds, close to 4 offensive rebounds. I like the 3 and 4 offensive rebounds. That's dope. But the 8 defensive rebounds is what's the bread and butter is going to be the key to defense. You're talking about 12 rebounds per game per 36. Mitchell Robinson's was only 10, so 12 to 10. The blocks is up now. Now you're talking about 1 point something. Still not going to be Mitchell Robinson level blocking shots, but for the level that Mitchell Robinson blocks shots, he's missing out on other aspects of the game. Free throw shooting, number one, 74%, basically 75% for his career. 3-point shot, he can hit the three, but a play like this, we don't need him shooting threes, man. We need him on the inside. You want to talk about field goal percentage? 58, 54, 62, 63. 63% from the field as a post guy, this shooting turnaround jump shots, hook shots, and driving the lane, that type of thing. 63% is excellent. For somebody that's standing around getting 70-something percent, it's not impressive to me. 21 points per game per 36 minutes. You're talking about 14 shot attempts. 14 shot attempts and you're shooting 63% is amazing. Okay, that's per 36. Go back to the regular stats. You're talking about how many shot attempts? 12 shot attempts per 29 minutes. 12 shot attempts. It just doesn't cut it. 12 shot attempts, shooting 63% is amazing. Getting 17 points per game. Come on, man. It's not even like a comparison, man. So I mean, what stands out between the two? I think Mitchell Robinson is a little bit more engaged defensively. Offensively, he's lost. He doesn't set good screens. Dandre Ayton shoots. Does the pick game a little bit better. I'm gonna see if I can get that up here, Mr. Dandre Ayton. Look at some highlights from him because we just looked at Mitchell Robinson. So Mitchell Robinson was just him standing around. Come on, man. Mr. Ayton, Dandre Ayton, and Mitchell Robinson just standing around. So I mean, when you look at Ayton's highlight film, you're gonna see a little bit more, a little bit more things going on. You're gonna see adequate screens. You're gonna see jump shots. You're gonna see hook shots. You're gonna see him driving the lane and stuff like that. Let me see if I can find a switch highlight. Switch is the best. If you can't find it, then we'll just go up here. So I'm gonna click the best highlights of 2022 from just a random YouTube guy. Let's make the screen bigger and let's share this with my peoples here. So we'll get this up here for you guys. Share the screen. Take a look at some Dandre Ayton highlights. All right, so it's already going here. So you already got him hanging on the rim there. Him shooting threes. He can knock down the three. We don't really want him shooting all those threes, man, but he could shoot the three. Nice little alley-oops. He can get the same alley-oops Mitchell is going to get. Yes, CP3 is the point guard, but that doesn't matter. Point guard is a point guard. Look at Dandre Ayton still attacking the basket. Get the ball up there. He'll be able to get it and catch it just like Mitch can. Here goes Dandre Ayton as a trailer. The good point guard waiting for the trailer to come in there. Mitch Robinson is never a factor as a trailer. There he goes on the inside. Nice pass from CP3, yes, but it's still able to finish that shot due to his mobility there. There he goes again. Offensive rebounds, put back, nice and easy. Not just him just going back up for like a superficial dunk. Look at him turn around, nice push shot into the lane, nice and easy. These are things that Mitch Robinson can't do. Dandre Ayton is nice and strong too. He can stand in space. He can stand still and dunk. Here he goes again with the offensive rebounds, be able to get into space there. That's what Mitchell Robinson does. So Mitchell Robinson could be active in Tom Thibodeau's offense doing the same thing, except Mitchell Robinson does stuff like that. He's able to get the ball and drive on the inside a little bit, do something other than dunk. So I'm anxious to see Ayton do some posts up here. This is just highlights. So they're going to show the dunks and stuff like that. To Mitch's credit, Mitch does not ever post up. So you're never going to see that in a highlight. You see Aiden there doing some turnaround spin moves on the inside there. There he goes. These guys are blocking him and preventing him from getting that dunk, but he still has that touch, able to finish. So Aiden is just a different level of a player, man. How much better is he than Mitch Robinson? Is he $15 million better than Mitch Robinson? That's the big question. So so if you're gonna talk about like talent and stuff like that, you can't even compare the talent, but the money is gonna be different. So you're talking about Aiden, that he's asking for a max. You're talking about $30 million a year. Is he worth $30 million a year? You're talking about a 20 and 10 center in the NBA, young guy. Potential for him is pretty high. Mitch Robinson's potential is not going to be a post scorer, man. There he goes, a nice little turnaround, jump shot in the paint. So these are things that we need from our center. Especially if we're going to play the way that we're playing here. Julius Randle is going to play one way. More than likely we're going to have to use Julius Randle to get a DeAndre Ayton. But a team like Phoenix might actually be down with that because they don't really want a center. They want to play small ball. So Julius Randle might be somebody that might be better for them, as you see him working there against Charlotte just now. Nice little post up moves and stuff. I think it works better, a DeAndre, if you have Obi Toppin as your power forward. Obi Toppin is your power forward. DeAndre Ayton makes sense because now you can utilize Obi in an open court, and let him get open that way, let him score in that way. And then you have Ayton as the fallback plan, the guy that's going to get the post ups on the inside, the guy that's going to trail the plays. Obi Toppin is going to be flying up the court while Ayton got the back. So you're always going to have somebody back on defense because somebody's always trailing. That will be the center. And then if we're running a break or whatever, or running a play, Aiden's going to be coming full head of steam, and you'll be able to get easy baskets that way. So I like the idea of getting on DeAndre if you can, man. If it's possible, because you have to think about how you can utilize the rest of the players on your team. So I mean, getting rid of Julius Randle and getting a upgrade at center, it just makes sense because you already have your replacement with Obi Toppin. Obi Toppin could be your starting power forward. Not saying that Obi's better than Julius, but he's adequate. He's not gonna. He might not give you 20, 10, and 5, but he might get you close to 20. He might get you 7 rebounds per game. Might give you maybe 3 assists, 5, maybe even 5 assists for Obi Toppin. Excuse me, guys. Excuse me. He might give you 5 assists and stuff like that. You never know where Obi Toppin is going to top off at. But you're looking at a good player there too, man. A guy that gives up the ball, facilitates a little bit. So it's interesting, man. So that's DeAndre Ayton. So let's go to Harlem's finest. Harlem's finest, Mr. Mo Bamba. So let me get rid of this here, Mr. Mo Bamba. Mo Bamba is someone that people keep saying that it's not that good. Mo Bamba is pretty good, man. Is he is he dominant like a DeAndre Ayton? Is he like an endless motor on defense sometimes, not all the time, like Mitch Robinson? He can be. So I'm gonna type his name in there, Mo, right? It's not nice and easy. Bamba. The guy has a hip hop song named after him, for Christ's sake. You know what I'm saying? Mo Bamba. So let's share those stats. Take a share of the Mo Bamba stats here. It took him a while to break out. He was very raw coming in there. He definitely put some extra weight in there. He also had 4 seasons to play with. So you're talking about the same about the time that Mitch Robinson was out there. First season, 16 minutes per game, 14, 15. This year was his breakout year as far as that. Last year, he actually played pretty good, but he didn't get the minutes to match. So the points went up. If you look at the 3-point percentage, it was 30, 34, 32, and then last year was 38, which is pretty good. 38 for a center prospect, power forward center, that's really good. 48% from the field. So he's not going to be relied on to really to be that anchor on the inside to catch and get those dunks like that. He's going to be asked to do a lot of perimeter stuff. So 3-point shots per game, only 8 shot attempts per game. So half of his shots are 3-point shots. So that's something to think about as well. So he's a 3-and-D center prospect. You want to talk about defense? 1.4 blocks for his career, 1.7 last year when he got the heavy minutes. 8 rebounds per game, 6 defensive, 2 offensive. So the offensive rebounds are there. He's going to compete there. You're talking about 25 minutes per game. So let's look at the 36 per game stats. 36 per game stats. Let's scroll this over. You're talking about the points go up to 15 per game. So 15 per game. The rebounds is unprecedented, man. Look at this. Aiden's rebounds were 12 across the board. This guy is basically 11.8. That's 12 rebounds per game too. Um, what's the name? Mitch Robinson's rebounds per game is only 10. So these guys are already better rebounds than him. Look at the defensive rebounds. 7, 8, 9, 8. This per 36. Look at the offensive. 3, 4, 3, 2. So you can talk about offensive rebounds. Mitchell Robinson might be the best, but these guys are right on his heels, man. So I mean, at least they can offensive rebound. So that's decent there. Look at the assists. The assists are not that good. I mean, he is a receiver. He's not a facilitator. Look at the block shots, right up there with Mitchell Robinson. You're talking about threes first year, 3.5, 2.9, and 2.3. This is per 36 minutes. Free throws, he got his free throws percentage together all the way up to 78% this year. Not really taking a lot of attempts, by the way. 1.4 attempts. Last year was 3. So this is something that could be changed. If you take a shot at him, you're thinking about what he might be able to do for you. What I'm saying? So I mean, you're talking about a good player here, man. He's not a slouch. That's what aggravates me about it, man. Because I mean, people talk about Mo Bamba as if he's like a complete scrub. He's definitely not. But a lot of people do talk him up a little bit too much too, man. And he's definitely not Kevin Garnett. So people talk him up too much as if he's Kevin Garnett, and he's not that level of a player. But he's still good, man. He's still a very good player. Now, if you want to talk about money, like which is DeAndre Ayton worth $30 million? That's the big question there. Is Mitchell Robinson worth 15? Is Mitchell Robinson worth $30 million? These are questions. Mo Bamba, what is this market? A guy like Mo Bamba, with all of the characters out there in the NBA, Mitchell Robinson, Aiden, and stuff like that. Mo Bamba's right there with the rest of them. So I mean, a team like Detroit might be somebody that would pick him up. I'm trying to find like a season highlight here. Let me see if I can get some season highlights going on in here. Trying to get this together. Season. Let's check out some season highlights from Obama, because they have a lot of individual games, not really too many season highlights. So we might have to do best plays and highlights. All right, let's just do this from this is against the 76ers. So this is actually a good game, because what makes it a good game is people talking about how the center from Embiid had 50 this game. But at the same time, he had 50. Mo Bamba had 32. So that's something to talk about there. So let's get this going. Let's see if I can get this shared here. Let's do the Mo Bamba. Make sure that I can get this whole video on here before it really gets popping. So let's take a look at Mo Bamba. So Mo Bamba's popping up on the screen here. It's going to be a lot of 3-point shots. You see him going on the inside, able to finish. Very sloppy. you got to give it that. He's very sloppy. Let's get this full screen there. Shooting threes, they left him open. Embiid didn't even try to guard him. He just popped the 3 right in his face. He goes, Mo Bamba sets a decent screen, another kick and pop kind of shot there. Beautiful, looks good. Nice little form. Very confident. Feet set underneath him. Set decent picks. Looking around, able to face up dribble, make passes, and he gets the ball in the trailing position, able to get the ball over. Sets a pick, able to get the 3 going. Let's get some offense going here. Here he goes. Obama is a trailer on this play. He's walking behind. There he goes, wide open, top of the key. 3-point shot, bang again. So I mean, he did shoot a lot of threes this game. I think he had maybe like 7 threes. Here he goes again, top of the key. So he's a threat in that way. So he's going to be able to space the floor. So if you're keeping a Julius Randle and you want him to operate in a certain way, what's the name? Mo Bamba's going to be able to space that floor and get the lane open for a guy like RJ. People want the lane open for RJ. Mo Bamba could do that for you. He could shoot that 3. 38% shooting from a center is good, man. With these guys here, the way that they practice, I could see him getting up to 40. I could, physically he's good, but I mean, just like Mitchell Robinson, he just kind of just standing there waiting for something to happen. Nice touch at the rim. You saw him, nice little put back there, nice little touch. He's a finesse guy. He's not like a bully on the inside. If you're looking for a bully, he's not that guy. But as you can see, if guys are looking for modern centers that can shoot threes, quote unquote, right? This is the guy. This is the guy you're looking for. You know? So am I a fan of Mo Bamba? Like I said, it all comes down to paying. Would I pay Mitch 15 or Mo Bamba 15? Who would I pay first? The answer to that is Mo. I probably would pay Mo Bamba just for the simple fact that Mo Bamba is going to give you the same production defensively, same production rebounding, but he's going to be able to shoot free throws at the end of the game if you need him to. Excuse me. He's going to be able to shoot the three, and space the floor out to get the game going. And he could run the floor and play the same way Mitch Robinson could run the open floor. And you can get him involved. He can set better screens than Mitch can. That kick and pop thing. That's something that we just don't have. So I would be more inclined to get Mitch Robinson. For that reason. Because I mean, like I said, it's not like you're gonna lose rebounding if you get Mo Bamba. It's not like you're gonna lose defense. Because Mo Bamba could block shots too. You know. So just for that simple fact, I think I would get that because if you're talking about like rebounding and just blocking shots, we still got Jericho Sims. He could do that. Let's get rid of this here. We got Jericho Sims. He can still do that. We got other guys that can actually, be looked on to do the dirty work like that. We could draft the guy to do dirty work, man. So I mean, I don't want to get too much in the draft, really, but we can do that as well. So you can look at the mock draft from NBA Draft.net. Let's do that. So NBA Draft.net, of course, everyone's gonna be talking about Jalen Durant, which I played a video about from him earlier. This kid Mark Williams, he's 7'1", that plays for Duke. I mean, he's decent as well, man. He's not even, to me, he's not really worth looking. If you look at it at his comparison, like I said in the earlier podcast, Eric Dampier and Clint Capella. Eric Dampier and Clint Capella are two different players, man. So this I don't agree with. Clint Capella is a rim runner, whatever. Eric Dampier was not a rim runner. Eric Dampier was Eric Dampier had the skills to be a 20-point a game scorer, but he just didn't have the drive, really. I want to say, he just didn't have the drive to be that kind of guy. But if you give Dampier the ball, he can score. He can rebound, he can block shots, he could do everything. He just was like very lazy, I want to say, or he just didn't have it in him to be that guy. Even though in an era where he had the opportunity to be that guy, he just wasn't that guy. But he still was able to give you two blocks per game, 10 rebounds, that type of thing, but not that 20-point a game scorer that he had the physical body to be that guy. You know what I'm saying? So, it's interesting. But it just goes to show you that there's a lot of players in this league, or that has been in this league, that you can compare certain players to. And if once you have a good franchise that knows what they're looking for and knows what kind of player they want, knows you want to utilize the market and things that needs to get the team better, then that doesn't really matter, man. If I can just see who we got here. Bricks Nation just popped in. He's talking about trading. Let's take this out of here. He's talking about trading Randall, 11 pick, and the Dallas pick for the Pacers for Brogdon and the 6th pick. Draft Ben. Uh, so I mean, what does that do for us? I'm just thinking, what does that do for us? I mean, you want to talk about point guard? We do get the point guard in Brogdon. Brogdon hasn't been able to get healthy. He hasn't been healthy his whole career, man. So taking on Brogdon by giving away Randall, it's kind of tough. The Indiana Pacers, will they want to take on Julius Randle, because now they have their own young guys over there that can play power forward and stuff. They got two guys. They got one guy that's undersized, and they have another guy that I think they got from Phoenix. You know what I'm saying? So these guys are ready to play. Young guys, more along on the rebuild that they're trying to do. So I mean, getting Julius Randle might be something they might do. Because these NBA teams are weird. But that's something that I don't know if the Pacers would do, especially since they got rid of the other guy, the Sabonis dude. So I mean, Aiden and Obi, it'll be interesting just for the spacing. Like I said, Obi will be the guy that's going to be running up the court, going crazy. DeAndre Aiden will be the balance to that. To be the trailer, as you saw in the highlights. DeAndre Aiden would be a great trailer player. Let's take a look at what Bricks Nixon is talking about here. Valanciunas is a free agent. I like Valanciunas. It would cost much less than Aiden. Listen, let's talk about Valanciunas. I like Valanciunas. Now, does Valanciunas block shots? No, he does not. But the difference with Valanciunas is that what he can't do at block shots, he does with rebounding and positioning. So if he can't get the block, he's going to definitely stop the ball and keep the guy from penetrating, or keep the big man from getting off heavy. So Valanciunas is good like that. He's very good on the inside. I like I think he's tough. So if we was to get Valanciunas here, I would love it. Because if you want to get Valanciunas here, then you start looking at what's his name? My man, what's his guy? I can't think of his name, but he was the center that was hurt for us, last year. So I mean, we could do a tandem like that. So you got the offense and the rebound from this guy, and then the defense from the other guy. You know what I'm saying? So that's a good balance to have there. But and also too, you get the same dynamic of where you have a trailing Valanciunas. Valanciunas can shoot the three. He can shoot, he can pass, he can do those things too. So that adds a different dynamic to the Knicks. And he's definitely a player that's going to be dangling because for some reason teams don't want to have their copycats. They don't want to have the big center. They don't want to take advantage of that advantage. Having a big center that could score, that's an advantage. I don't understand why these teams don't take advantage of that. They just want guys to shoot threes, and it sucks, man. To me, that's just a drag. You know, you're still talking about Valanciunas here. I get it, man. Valanciunas is dope. I like that a lot. You got Brogdon, Mathurin. Okay, RJ, Obi with Valanciunas. That's good. I'm good with that. If this is what you want to do, and that definitely works out. But where RJ as a three, that's decent. You got the bench of IQ, Grimes, Cam, and power forward. Who would be the power forward? You got Sims there. I got you. So I mean, I'm looking at that. Knicks Bricks Nation, and it looks good. It looks good on paper. Saying can that team win? Yeah. You're looking at hopefully that Mathurin will come in and do well. You're hoping that Brogdon could be healthy for the first time in his career. Obi Toppin take it to the next level, and Valanciunas is going to be Valanciunas. So I mean, I like that. That's decent. It will be about gelling, getting these guys to play together. Could they play together? Style of play. Brogdon is decent. Good pick and roll point guard. Tall, able to get to the basket. He's offensive minded. He could pass though. Good facilitator. Mathurin, he has a lot of confidence being able to push the ball, shoot the three, get in there and dunk and stuff like that. RJ is very slow, methodical kind of guy, still able to pass the ball, be a facilitator. Obi's who he is, open court player. It's a good balance, something that could possibly work. I'm not definitely not shooting down anybody's thing here because this is all opinion. And if the opinion makes sense and it does, you definitely got to talk about it. Yeah, shout out to Kareem Graham. What's good, Kareem? What else we got going on here? I see some guys here. All right, do is that guy? I just talked about it already. We got Duarte and Halliburton in the backcourt. Yeah, definitely. Yes, Noel. Nerls Noel. That's like a name that I'm just trying to delete out of my vocabulary, and it seemed like I did. So I mean, anyway, the Knicks have a rich history at center. So if you look at stats, right, the number one center for the Knicks, of course, is Patrick Ewing, right? So let's take a look at Patrick Ewing. I'm very big at tradition. Other teams they seem to always go back to the tradition. Say like Boston. Boston has always had like small mobile forwards. You want to talk about like Larry Bird. Larry Bird. You got Kevin McHale, very skilled power forward coming off the bench. Some other guys too that I can't really get the names of too, man. What's the name? Caldwell. Is that his name or something like that? He was like the finals MVP for them. So I mean, you're talking about guys that are like superb basketball players, man. The guys that they weren't like back to the basket kind of guys. They were more perimeter oriented. Being able to defend on the perimeter, get out on the breaks and that type of thing. But the Boston Celtics, if you look at their current team and some of the teams of the past, are very similar. So why can't we get why can't we go back to our roots and get and be focused more on what we're good at? Patrick Ewing, one of the greatest centers to ever play the NBA, 50 greatest and then 75 greatest. Look at the accolades: Hall of Fame, 11-time All-Star, seven. This is where we come from. Defensive, you got the Rookie of the Year, 3-time defensive all defensive team. He was on an all rookie team. Come on, man, this guy's a beast. If you want to talk about his career, shout out to Basketball Reference. They're like harassing me about following them on social media. Everybody wants that. Everybody would look at searching for clout, huh? So listen, 20 points per game every single year for his first few freaking years, man. So you want to talk about over like 12 years, he averaged 20 points per game? Come on, man. So this is our tradition. You want to talk about offensive rebounds and stuff like that too. offensive rebounds for his whole career. The defensive rebounds always went up and down. Ewing in the first few years, 9 rebounds per game. The minutes were there, 35 minutes per game. It went up to 38. It was like 38, 37 for like looked like 10 years, man. Almost 10 years. It's gonna be 8 years of him playing 30, at least 37 minutes per game. Man, that is a lot of minutes for a guy that supposedly had bad knees and stuff like that. Still 10 rebounds per game every single year, damn near 11 rebounds per game. Blocks per game, damn, is like basically 2 per game every year. Early on, Ewing averaged like 3, 4 1 year. 28 points per game 1 year, basically 25 for his whole half, like the middle part of his prime. 25 points per game. So Ewing was a beast, man. So can we get DeAndre Ayton to give us that tradition at center? If you want to bring other people in there, let's do that right now. Let's do Camby. Because Camby, we did trade Charles Oakley for Camby. Let's take a quick look at Marcus Camby. So Marcus Camby, we talk about him, but he didn't really play as a Knick for that long, man. Well, let me see, 1, 2, 3, okay, 4 years. So he played 4 years with the Knicks, Marcus Camby. So that's decent. So as a Knick, he averaged 10 points, only 8.9 rebounds, not even 1 assist, 1.9 blocks. But when you look back at Camby, you think about a player that was very dominant. You think about him busting Mutombo's ass in the playoffs that year, but he only shot 49% from the field. Not really a good free throw shooter, 64%. But a lot of people talk about Camby as if he was like really good, so great for us. He was good, for the era. You want to talk about the era, but the stats don't really match too much with that. He did play a little bit better, I want to say, with Detroit. Not Detroit. Did Denver. Let me see here. He got up to 3.6 blocks per game 1 year. So he got better with age. The rebounds definitely went up as he got older as well. The assists went up as he got older too. So these Denver years was definitely way better, man. So I mean, Marcus Camby was a good player. He definitely got better as time went on. He dealt with injuries and stuff as well. One guy I hate that people keep talking about him, how good he was. He did get the some trophy. That's Tyson Chandler. But if you want to talk about tradition, one-time All-Star, one-time NBA champ. He was All NBA the same year that they won the championship. 3 times All Defense, and then he was Defensive Player of the year that he was with the Knicks. So let's take a look at him. And he played with the Knicks for 1, 2, 3 years. Those are only years I give a fuck about. Let's talk about that. Uh 10, 10, 1.2 blocks. People act like he averaged 5 blocks a game. 1.2 blocks per game, not even a steal per game. And this is like he was a defensive player of the year. Free throws 67%, 63% from the field. This is very similar to Mitch Robinson's numbers, except Mitch Robinson was a better shot blocker than this guy. Minutes per game was 32. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, on paper, is one thing, but the legacy of Tyson Chandler, people talk about him as if he was just as good as Ewing. He was also another one of those guys that I hated throughout the years, and they just talk him up too much. He's not really that good of a player. If you want to talk about product of a point guard, that guy was a product of a point guard. He got paid off of CP3, won the championship with Jason Kidd, went on to the Knicks and played with Kidd again. So he's a product of a good point guard. We'll see. I mean, Mitch Robinson was able to get the same numbers playing with decent point guards, but not the caliber that he played with. So I mean, you can run with that argument if you want. The last center that I'll talk about is of course the big fella. You want to talk about now? I can't even think of his fucking name now. So I mean, what's his name? The Captain Willis Reed. There you go. I have to think of his nickname first. So let's just do Willis Reed. There you go, Willis Reed. So Willis Reed was 6'9". He was a center power forward. He played center when they won their championships, man. So let's just take a look at him. He's one of the greatest players to ever play. So look at his accolades: Hall of Fame, 7-time All-Star, 2-time champ, 5-time All NBA. He was an All Rookie team. He was the Rookie of the Year, defensive, all defensive. He got that award in the year that they won the championship, the first one. Finals MVP twice. So he was the man. 75th all-time player. Let's take a look at his stats. His stats don't are not really going to jump at you crazy because they didn't really count blocks during his era. So you can see the blank spots there. They didn't count defensive or offensive rebounds. They just counted rebounds in general. So from the beginning of his career, double figure rebounds, 14, 11, 14, 13. Playing against plumbers, right? That's like the joke that everyone keeps saying. That JJ Redick just said that on ESPN, which upset a lot of people. Older guys like Bob Cousy and stuff like that. This guy like Willis Reed, he played against guys like Will Chamberlain and stuff like that. So they weren't all like terrible players. There were still Hall of Fame guys out there that these guys had to battle with year after year. 19 points per game, 14 points for his rookie year. Never really too much over 20, 21 points per game a couple times. For at the end of his career, he only played 9 games 1 year. He had 1.1 blocks. So that just tells you 31 years old. So at 22, what was his blocks per game? It's just interesting. Field goal percentages. They used to put up a lot of shots, a lot of tapping stuff. Back in the days, that was just a style of play. You can see how the style changes as it gets closer to the 70s. His field goal percentage went up a lot better. Free throw percentage is the same thing. Minutes, guys played a lot of minutes back in those days, 38, 39 for his whole beginning of his career. Towards the end, not really so much. He had a knee injury. That was the end of his career. He was done by 32. So that was the era. He had a very bad injury on that first time they won the championship. Never really got better from that. It was able to get 20 points a game that the next year. And then the year that they won again was 72, 73. He averaged 11 points. So that was like the year before he would retire. So by 32, guys were done during that time. That's just a tale of errors. But anyway, we have a rich history with centers, man. So I mean, it would be nice to secure a nice center, that we can go on into the next era with, because like I said, winning with the Knicks is always has a decent center. Is Mitch Robinson that guy? You know what I'm saying? Do we let Mitch Robinson go and try to figure something else out along the way? That's what we're gonna have to see what we're gonna do with that. So let me see. We got same guy talking. Let's see what D Crown is talking about here. He said they need to trash all these Knicks fans that think they got the number one pick every year. Okay. So this is a guy that just coming here to troll. So it's all good, man. So anyway, this is your boy Eru. I just want to talk about centers tonight. State was supposed to come on with me here tonight, but he got stuck at work. So like I said, we'll probably try again sometime this week. I'm thinking more likely Wednesday. He wants to try to go tomorrow. State wants to go every day, but I'm thinking Wednesday is better. He said he's off for work tomorrow, so it does work out, but we'll see. So anyway, shout out to you guys. Thank you for coming in on the chat. Please check this out on the replay. And if you enjoy what's happening here, make sure you hit that thumbs up button so we can get that algorithms popping for the summer. And I'll see you guys next time, man. This is Mr. Sherwin. Shout out to Sherwin. Check out the replay, Mr. Sherwin. I'll take you guys later. Evil out. Four figures to the four. Tucking the thumb. Salute. We out of here. Peace.